Let's talk about the GUNFISH, and I mean everything GUNFISH. We have all the sizes right here in front of me. A couple new ones that I have just started to play with that are very effective. So let's start with this side right here, kind of a pencil style GUNFISH, the GUNFISH 117. The 117 was derived from kind of that, they call it the pencil popper, even though it was a walking bait. The nice thing about this is the castability. Really casts well. A lot of the weight is towards the back end, which means you can cast it a lot farther. The 117 is just a very popular 3-hook model. Just a great all-around tournament situation top water. It's great for covering water, great for generating a lot of bites, the 117. Now let's go to a bigger one. This is the GUNFISH 130. Now, as opposed to the 135, very similar in size, but if you notice, the 130 has 2 trebles, the 135 has 3 trebles. So the 130 is gonna be a better bait for throwing in areas that have a lot of bigger fish, maybe some inshore kind of saltwater, redfish kind of style fishing as well. But the reason for this is the bigger treble hooks. You're gonna wanna throw this on heavier line. When you're fishing shallower water, let's say Florida, you don't wanna go with the 3 trebles. You're gonna wanna go with more of the 2 trebles that are gonna be a beefier, connection to those fish. So you're throwing in real shallow grass. Those fish like to ball up. A lot of times they get a lot of leverage. They can tear those hooks out. Something you can throw a bigger treble hook on is gonna increase your landing ratios. The 135 is a great castability bait. It's gonna be a great bait in those blueback herring lakes. Something you can cast a long ways, something that if you're in schooling situations where the fish are schooling and you have to make a really long cast to get to those fish that are starting to come up, you're gonna wanna go with that 135. And as opposed to the 130, that has 2 trebles, this has 3 trebles on it. So great open water, great schooling situation, making really long casts, a great, really fast fishing bait, the 135. Now let's go over to original, let's go to the 115. This bait right here has been a bait that one of my all-time favorite topwaters. I throw this thing a ton. The reason for it is you can cast it so far. It gets bites. The one thing I really like about that GUNFISH family is it has a little cupped bill on it. Now it looks kind of like a popper. If you were to just look at the very front of this, it looks like a popping bait that just goes like this. It's not, it's a walking bait. But I fell in love with this fishing the US Open years ago on Lake Mead because it walks, but guess what? Every time this bait turns, it catches a little bit of water and it throws it this way. And when it walks back the other way, it catches a little bit of water. So it's splashing left and right. So it has a lot of commotion on the surface. And it's because of that cupped bill. It likes to just splash water every time it's walking. When you're walking this thing, it's creating that little side action to it as well. And that's why I fell in love with that 115. Now, the 95 has become one of my favorite ones now because a lot of times we're fishing pressured lakes. I like that smaller profile. I actually like this size for when the fish are schooling because sometimes they get so keyed on that smaller bait that you throw that 95 and it looks more natural. Same thing with the whole GUNFISH line, you have that cup bill. So it creates commotion and it's splashing water to different sides. Now, what I like about the 95 is that I can take this bait and if I feel like I'm not getting the hookup ratio, guess what? I can go to the 3-hook 95. So now, if I'm fishing around spotted bass or schooling fish where they're just thrashing at the bait or inactive fish that aren't quite trying to eat it, they don't like it, they're trying to kill it, your odds go up by having 3 treble hooks on there versus having 2. So I like having both options. If I'm catching a lot of fish, I like 2-hook version. If I'm not catching a lot of fish, I like the 3-hook version because I feel like I'm capitalizing on those bites. Now, a brand new one I have just started to throw is the GUNFISH 75. So it's a smaller profile. We have the 95, here's the 75. I really like this in the fall. And the reason why I like the 75 in the fall is it's a smaller profile. A lot of times in the fall, the bait's really small. Sometimes around a shad spawn, they like a smaller bait because they see so much of maybe this size. Anytime where I just feel like they're pressured or I just feel like they just want that smaller profile bait, I'm gonna go with that 75. It's still very easy to cast. It walks great, but it's real subtle on the water. Real shallow water, real calm water. Sometimes they like something very, very subtle. It's almost like a wake bait. It's just very subtle, and that's the GUNFISH 75. So the complete family of GUNFISH topwaters from Lucky Craft. There's so many different options and such effective tools for catching fish.